Welcome back to Central Valley Talk. This show is a real estate and home improvement show. We've been talking to people all week on how to take care of your home, who you should hire as a plumber, who you should hire to put your roof on, things like that. These are hard choices. We want you to get the most honest people helping you out. My favorite part of the show is when real estate professionals come on the show and show us places they have for sale. And for that purpose, we brought on our guest, Azad Deeb. And by the way, Azad's an expert in real estate. When you should buy, when you should sell, what the market's like. So we're going to ask him some hard questions in a few minutes, if that's okay.
Welcome, that works with me, yeah.
Okay. Hey, tell us about this house you have for sale.
Well, Mike, first, thank you for having me on the show. Happy Tuesday. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween, everybody. Thank you for inviting us into your homes and giving me this opportunity. So I have a really wonderful listing. It's off of Hernan and Brawley. It's a 1,800 square foot, 4-bedroom, wow, 2-bath on a good-sized corner lot, about 9,020 feet. There's a lot of updates on this guy. From the minute you walk in, you have this unique pebble floor design. You have a vaulted open ceiling. There is a beautiful entrance from when you walk in, this nice little entrance with this fountain. From there, when you walk inside, you got this, again, unique pebble floor, vaulted ceiling, open floor concept design. It is so ready to move in. It is really beautiful. So it's 4 bedrooms. Tax record says 3.
Is that a bar, by the way?
That is a bar with a poker table. It's got a closet. So this is the 4th room, not to be overlooked when you're walking through the house or if you're looking at any photos. Again, tax record says it's 3, and every now and then they do make a mistake.
Sure.
And but no, this is a true 4-bedroom. The kitchen's nice. Updates include granite countertop, stainless steel appliances, the pebble flooring.
That pebble
the
flooring
hardware
throughout the whole house.
The pebble flooring throughout the whole house, except for the bedrooms, where people usually like to keep their rooms warm in the winter.
Yeah. You know, I'm from the Tower District. You know what we don't have here in our houses?
What's that?
Laundry room.
Oh, the unique thing about this one is it's inside, so it's down the hallway. It's not in the garage. It's not going to create any excess heat in the summer.
Is this the master bedroom?
This is the primary bedroom, yes. The main bedroom, the master bedroom.
And
it's got a nice walk-in closet, walk-in shower.
Yeah.
So for those of us that have back problems like I do, it's so much easier just to step 1 foot in than having to put your foot over the tub and reach that way.
Now this is incredible because I've known so many people who've had to come and put in a patio.
Oh.
It's so expensive, and this one is already there.
This one's already there. It's got a covered patio. It's got one that's a little bit more open, and again, the yard's huge. You can entertain for days.
Here's the front again. So what if somebody wants to see this? What do they have to do?
You know, it's really easy. You can reach out to me, give me a call. My number is hopefully on your screen right there, 312-6864. It is occupied at this time. It doesn't take that long to, showings are easy.
Yeah. It looks like that, what do you call, low maintenance yard?
It is. It's drought tolerant yard.
Yeah.
Drought tolerant front yard, and there's really nothing in the backyard other than.
And there's those sagos, which are beautiful.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
Anyway, now you don't find a lot of 4-bedroom houses, so that's. Are you going to tell us the price, or do they need to call you to find that out?
You know what?
Call.
Let's call. Let them find me out. Call. We can find out.
And we put your email address up there too.
Yeah,
so
I appreciate that.
Email you, call, and are a lot of people looking at that house?
Yes, I've had a lot of attention. The house has been on the market for a short time.
Right. And by the way, I want to ask you this because. Kind of an expert at this. You've been doing it for a while.
10 years now.
Wow. There's not a lot of houses for sale. There's kind of a shortage.
No, there is a shortage. We talk about that all the time. So inventory supply is pretty low. So before coming here, I did take a look. And usually what I like to look at are the, I typically look at Fresno, Clovis, single family condos and PUDs, all active on the market. And I believe we were around 649 active units from your low to your high. So there's really not a lot of houses.
So if somebody wants to sell their house, this might be a good time.
You know, it's always an opportune time. There's really no competition. And if you put it up, you price it right, you are going to attract the right buyer and sell.
And by the way, I was going to ask you this before. Who should be calling you?
You know what? Anybody that's a great question too, Mike. If you're getting married, you inherited a home, you're going through a separation, an untimely death, you want to upsize your home, you want to downsize your home, you're looking at relocating, possibly even an investment property. I get a lot of inquiries on that. That's really what my specialty is, single family and multiple units, 1 to 4 units. If you want to be close to your family, your kids, your grandkids, often at times they move, you need to shift from one area to another, or a 2-story home. You want to downsize from or you want to move from a 2-story to a single story because the steps are no longer your friend.
Yeah. Now
that's what you should be calling.
People don't have to know what they want to do. They could come to you and get your advice.
Definitely. Yeah, we can sit down, we can talk. Consultations are always complimentary. It's just really a conversation to see.
If you talked about getting old and stairs, we talked about that before the show started, but if people have had their house, and they raise their kids there, they got this big old 2-story house, they may be surprised how much equity they have, that they could take and put that into another house, maybe have little or no payment.
That's really true. And speaking of that, I have also dug a little deep, and you'd be surprised how many folks in our county actually own their home practically outright or close to outright. So they definitely do have equity in these homes. Yeah. So they, like you said, they can just sell, move out, and either purchase something cash or purchase something and still have something set aside.
That's great. That's great. But you got to talk to Azad about that because he's an expert. He'll tell you the truth.
That's
What's your house worth? How much equity do you have?
Absolutely.
How much can you put? What about buyers? You work with buyers?
Definitely. I just had a really swell transaction. She was a first-time buyer. Mm-hmm. What I loved about her is she had never done anything, so it was totally new. The story behind that is really neat. She had to season some money. So seasoning money, Mike, is basically when folks have cash on the side and I got to deposit into the bank to get acclimated with the bank statement. So she had to season some money. We went looking at homes, and from the get-go, it was fun. Yeah. We were able to negotiate seller credit. These things are back. They're coming back. They're making a comeback. Yeah. She was able to purchase her rate down a little bit and use those credits to pay down her closing costs. So, yeah, first-time home buyers, there's plenty of opportunity out there.
Yeah, this is why people should call it Azad. Don't wait till you're, I'm going to buy a house tomorrow. Get a hold of Azad in advance because something like that. I used to have a job where I had lots of cash and I kept it in the closet. Yeah. And I went to buy a house and they said, "No, you can't count that money."
No, you can't. So you got to do what they call their seasoning. And I think, Mike, you might have that experience too, where you got to put it in the bank and so that they can see that there's been basically seasoned money that's been established in your bank account, not cash deposits because the banks don't like cash.
Right. They don't. So talk to Azad way in advance. Like you said, getting married. You don't have to be married, go through the ceremony, and then start looking at houses. Sometimes meeting with Azad in advance, he could kind of help you do the planning, what you're going to need to do to buy a house once you get married.
Speaking of that big word, planning, I would start ahead of time because you don't want to just hit go and then not be ready. You want to plan ahead. You always want to plan ahead.
Right. How many times do you show people houses, they find their perfect dream house, and they're not ready? The money's not seasoned, or they don't have the down payment, or whatever.
That's true, and you hit a really important topic right there that I'm glad you did. And this happens quite often, and it's happened to me more recently, and I'd really love to share this with you. So I come across a lot of folks that are back in the market from taking a little time off, and they were pre-approved not long ago for an X amount of dollars. Well, since then, I think we can all concur that the rates have gone up.
Yep.
So when they were approved at your 5 or 6%, their payment was very comfortable. Now they want to get back in the market at the same purchase price, but they haven't revisited the lender to see what the new payment is at the new rate. The down payment may have changed, the costs may have changed, the fees may have changed, but more importantly that I've seen, the payment has changed. So when you were once approved for a dollar amount, a max amount finance, and your payment was, let's say, $2,000, and the same $400,000 with the rate going up. Now your new mortgage payment is $2,600, for example.
What a difference,
that $600 is a big difference, and no one really becomes aware of it until they sit down with the lender and do the fees. I will say when you leave the lender's office, you should know the type and term of loan. You should know all the money associated with the purchase of the house, your closing costs and your down payment.
Where you're going to have to come up with.
All the money is associated with the fees, the type and term of loan, your interest rate, your max amount finance, and really it's your payment.
Right.
Your payment's really key. You got to know your payment.
By the way, don't be afraid of the interest rate. I bought my first house at 9%, and people paid higher in the day. And this is, 20, 30 years ago. 9%. And I made $100,000 off that place. So don't worry about the interest rate. Just, as you said, it's about the payment.
Well, I agree with you because I carry around my closing statement that I found from November of 2006. We financed, the purchase price was There's no secret here. It's 505. I believe we financed 465 or 435. The rate I had a first and a second. So my first was six and a quarter, and the second rate was a 7%. So when you combine the two, it was almost already a 7% rate. So it's not that much different from where we were. What are we, 2023? So 17 years ago.
We come right through. You get through it, and probably we refinanced anyway a couple times.
Well, I did. I did a modification, and then in 2011, and thereafter we refinanced when the rates dipped. So it only took time, but we stuck with it. We stayed with it. We didn't deviate from anything. Put our head down, made the payment. We worked, and it all works out in the end.
It works. Yeah, real estate's a way to go.
That's what I believe.
If you're a guy, what do you call it, just a regular wage earner, which is not a bad thing to be.
No.
Real estate's really your only way to build wealth.
That's a great thing that you said that too. And if you're concerned about that, you don't want a single family residence. So I would probably consider, if I was to do this again, I would probably consider doing, and I didn't just married, kids, no kids. I would probably consider a multi-unit where I can live in one, rent out the other two. And then at some point I'm going to move out.
They're going to be making
possibly,
your payment
and they're going to be making your payment for you.
Yeah.
You got two folks making the
your
payment for
investment.
you, and that's your investment. You get to maintain your investment. You can pull equity out of your investment. You can take that money and go purchase something else rather than coming money out of your own pocket. Depleting that, you just use the equity that you have in your property, and that's what I did. I took the money out of that, and I guess it was tax free. I don't want to get into details on that.
When you take money out, it's tax free. You borrow on the equity.
I borrowed on the equity and purchased another rental unit, and really that's my key.
Well, listen, I'm going to come back to your listing in a second. I just want to say anything else you want our viewers to know.
No, if you guys have any questions on anything, please feel free to call. Don't be shy. Don't hesitate. My number is on your screen.
By the way, who answers that? 559-312-6864.
That's my direct line.
I say don't make the biggest investment in your life from somebody who doesn't answer your own phone. That's why Azad carries.
And that's it. I carry it on my hip. And if it does go to voicemail, do know I'm actually talking to somebody or doing something else. So leave a voicemail, and if you are looking for something a little quicker, we do live in a text world, so feel free to shoot me a text.
Oh, we could text that number.
Right, you can definitely text that number.
Anyway, there's that beautiful home, 4 bedrooms.
So the address again is 6665 North Pima Avenue off of Herndon and Brawley. 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,800 square feet on a good-sized corner lot. It's got a drought-tolerant front yard, 2-car garage, updated kitchen, bathroom.
Updated. And that's the place to live now. They've got all that new stuff out there.
There's a lot of new stuff out there.
Movies and shopping and everything. All right, Azad Deeb, we will be back. I'm going to leave this up there a minute, the picture of the house, and you can write down his phone number. We'll be back with more real estate and home improvement right after this.
Mike, thank you for your time.